Hey there. Hey there, we're back for Survivor 41, baby. It's time. And it is if you're confused by what you're seeing, I know it makes you feel a lot of different feelings, I know. But it is October, officially. So, as such, it is October, right? October 1st. Now that you're seeing it's October 1st. So this will be the first of the October month here on Tarqaron, where we're gonna be dressing up every week. So I figure I might as well keep the same thing going for my solo coverage of Survivor 41 as well. All right, and in case you were confused, I am hair. I am a steampunk, you might say. So in case you're new, I'm going to be talking about Survivor 41 here on the channel every week. And it's mostly solo, even though usually you can find Survivor coverage here with my friend Alec, as I take him on his journey through Survivor for the first time through the seasons chronologically. So we're currently on Survivor Palau together. Meanwhile, I am a super fan, so I wanted to talk about the new season. This is a unique opportunity for me to do so. I haven't been able to do that yet. And it's a whole new era of Survivor. It was great. I did a whole reaction to the premiere. I'm going to keep doing them as long as I can each week. So what that means is I'll be talking about the episode, but also you can click the link in the description to see the highlights of my reaction and then come back afterwards for the discussion. So it'll be great. If you want to just see the reaction, you can do that. If you want to just hear the discussion, you can do that. But previously we had Sarah and Abraham voted out. It was a fun premiere. I love what I was seeing from the new direction of the show. Obviously, there remains a lot to be seen in terms of the gameplay and how exactly it would all go, but, oh Lord. But I'm here for it, for the good and the bad. I'm excited to see a fresh take on Survivor. Honestly, it's 40 seasons, so it's nice to see them take a step back and try something new with it. I don't mind it. Also, hope my mic doesn't sound too bad. I was having some problems where my typical settings were not working at all. The mic was getting blown out. I was adjusting the gain. I literally turned the gain all the way down and it was still getting blown out. It was peaking. But then I tried adjusting the settings the best I could. This is the best I could end up with. At this point, I'm concerned. I might have to get a new mic because, I've never had this problem with peaking so harshly before. Usually it's so crisp and I'm able to get it just right, but no matter how much tweaking I did, this is the part I hate most about doing videos, is tweaking the audio. And of course I had to spend so much time just tweaking it just to get it to a subpar level for me. So hopefully it's bearable for you. So I hope it's good. Click the link in the description for my reaction and then come back afterwards. We're going to talk about it. Okay, I'm excited to see. Okay, I don't know why I never expected to actually be this upset with David Voce getting voted out. But I am. I was all on board. Look, the preseason, if you look at Voce preseason, he was so confident, but he had some of the most interesting responses to the interview questions, really well spoken in that way, but also he was very confident. He was name dropping all these legendary players he'd like to play like. And he was talking about how he's going to be the villain in confessionals and stuff. He impressed me with how he played the game. He didn't come out playing hard, but now it just comes down to he didn't play hard enough. It's he was impressing me because he was setting up for a good shot at it. Ultimately, they have to look back at voting out Abraham. That's going to be a big regret for them because they could have done that if the guys stuck together. But yeah, this is not the way I expected him to go out because my impression was maybe he'll make a crazy deep run at it. I don't see it, but maybe he will. Or more likely he'll flame out early. But either way, it'll be entertaining to watch. But this one, he didn't really flame out early. He just it was a quiet exit for him, which is unfortunate, And did it really come down to Tiffany just being paranoid that's why they switched to Voce? I'd be pissed. Because it's not Survivor's one of those things where I don't think is the case for Xander now that like they know so much about what he has. But in similar spots, there have been plenty of people who are like they choose to vote one ally over the other, and then that other manages to sneak by all the way to damn near the end, if not the end. And with that, it's like that feels bad. If it's really the reason they ended up switching to Voce is because Tiffany didn't understand and wasn't willing to trust in her allies and in Evie, in that he did not have a vote. It didn't matter if he had an idol. He did not have a vote. And just did she really force her will that much? Or that's why they voted Voce, even though Liana seemed pissed about it. She really did not agree. She wanted to get Xander out. That's crazy to me, and that's gonna suck to watch back for Voce. I mean, especially if they do a swap soon. I mean, Jeff said in preseason they're gonna keep the tribe small throughout the season, so I don't know if that means they will continue to keep the tribes like this and not swap too much, or anytime soon. Who knows? It is a new era, but that's just that's rough. That's rough. I mean, look, we ended up in like the way I expected it to go from the beginning, like not Xander necessarily, but one of the guys. Like they were teasing this, oh, maybe I shouldn't be working. Evie saying maybe I shouldn't be working with the women. You know, maybe I should go over with the guys. After seeing how Tiffany is responding, I had a feeling that was all fake news and was building up to a guy being voted out. But it's still, the way we got there was a lot of fun. Even though I don't like the outcome necessarily. Even though, for me, Tiffany, baby, she's on my draft team. She's going to keep staying in there with that social clout. Look, I loved Evie in this episode more than ever. I think it was a breakout episode for them, for sure. And I loved everything they were giving me. A lot of game talk. So I don't know if that's setting up. Whenever you see an episode so heavy, centered on someone, I don't know if it's setting up for like potential long-term edit or winner edit situation. Who knows? But I liked what they were doing. I mean, I didn't like that it ended up being the same wheel situation when they went out on the summit with Evie and Deshawn, because they were talking about it, like assuming that, okay, I'll protect my vote, you risk your vote, easy peasy. And I'm like, okay, yeah, as if they're going to do the same thing. Like, this isn't Ghost Island. They're not going to do the same thing. They're not going to be like, oh, no game to play, that kind of thing. It's going to be something spicy you won't expect. But no, it is the same exact game. So they're already gaming the system here. That's why you got to switch it up, baby. Like the fact that they said that you're going to meet up and make a decision. I didn't assume it would be the same prisoner's dilemma, because it's not as interesting when you know about it ahead of time. The whole concept, you know, to pregame the whole scenario kind of ruins the thing. The whole fact is like, okay, your prior connection with these people that you had in that moment leading up to it, now how do you process that? But the fact they knew about it, and Evie was able to just tell him, okay, I'm gonna protect my vote and you can risk it, no problem. So there wasn't even any conflict there, because realistically, what is Evie gonna do? Are they gonna like be such a mastermind that they manipulate Deshawn into risking his vote when he shouldn't? Like, there's no benefit to doing that. Like, so at that point, the game's already broken. So, okay, that's enough of that, I guess. But there was a lot of fun stuff. Brad sprinting over to watch JD and Ricard, and then Shan immediately telling Ricard about it, because she does seem to have be his closest ally, Ricard. So I mean, I loved the energy Brad was given. I was like, okay, wow, he's here to play, and that is, I remember in pregame he mentioned how he did like Tony as a player. So I mean, there it is. But it's a shame it might backfire on him now next time they go to tribal council potentially. And we just saw a little bit of Nasir being the provider in Luvu. We didn't get much from Luvu this episode, which that's fine. It seems like it's going to be something wild happening up next episode with potentially Sydney involved. But yeah, Nasir coming alive as a provider role. See if it's actually valued in this new game of Survivor. So then Xander and Leanna split up to look for the other people, when really Xander just wanted to go look for an idol, and he got the beware advantage. No, look, I knew that anybody who gets this there's so much pressure to take it. It's so hard to say no to something that could potentially really improve your game. It's an advantage. It's called Beware Advantage, but it's just so hard. At the end of the day, it's a game, so it's like, all right, you're gonna open the thing. Even if it's like kill yourself advantage, it would still be tempting, and they'd probably open it because it's like, well, I found it, so now I feel like I have to. Because if I find it and then don't do anything with it, all I can have is regret from that. So he did, and then he shares it with Evie and Voce, and they seem to think they're in a solid alliance. Evie riding the middle perfectly between the women and the men. Evie's like, no, I value the women more, so they're in for a rude awakening here when they then go and tell the women about the advantage and spill all the details about it. The phrase, everything, not having a vote. So that's a shame. Xander confided with that information. So that's what I knew. As much as they teased it, Evie's not going to vote a woman out. It's not happening because Evie already told them about the freaking advantage. So at that point, you can't go back on it because then that can be leveraged against Evie. So it was already sealed at that point. So then is it going to be Voce or is it going to be Xander? And either way, I was not going to be happy with it, but Voce did nothing wrong. He was just a little too laid back. It's like minor things you can nitpick at that point when you think back on your game. And it is a shame because I know he was trying to play the long game. He was playing it cool in the beginning, but he did want to be there for the long haul. So that's going to always suck to go out in that position. Yasau lost in dramatic fashion because of Tiffany's performance, but it seems that's not a big deal for this tribe. It's just going to come down to the alliance, and also probably an element of banking on swapping sometime soon, so you don't need to go all in on the tribe strength. So Tiffany's going to be safe in that regard, I guess. She's got herself a good company. All right, so those were my main thoughts on the episode. Sad to see Voce go out. I really am. Episode 2. Damn. He seemed like he was doing really well. But I do have a little something here. If you were here for the preseason, you'll know that my friend Rusty was here for the ride. Leading up to the preseason, we had a draft going on, and we talked about everything leading up to it, talked about the cast, talked about our love of Survivor, and I said he would come in whenever possible to join me, but it would mostly be me until the end of the season. Ultimately, it's like it became that we don't think our schedules will line up too much on the day that I do record this. So I had the idea, maybe you could record a little clip and send it in, and then I could respond to what he's saying on the clip at least. So he did that. By the way, with Voce getting voted out, as much as I hate to see it, that is 3 for 3 of his draft members being voted out so far in a row. Though Evie's shaping up to have a good edit here. Still, my team is fully intact still. And yeah, glad to see it. So let's see what he's got to say. I haven't looked at this yet, so this will be something to see.
Hello everyone, my name is Rusty, and I just wanted to stop in and share my thoughts on episode 2 for Survivor 41. My buddy Zach is reacting to Survivor 41, and if I can't be there to talk about and debrief each episode in great detail, I wanted to come in and share my big 3 moments from the episode, and hopefully 3 minutes or less. And maybe it'll provide a nice kind of prompt for Zach to react to. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right into it.
Be good.
With my
3
favorite moment or top moment of the episode. And that, without a doubt, is I think that butterflies are truly just dead relatives saying hello.
Yes.
Kudos to you, Xander, for having the guts to go to an immunity challenge and say that craziness.
Okay, I didn't even touch on this. Yeah, I almost forgot about it. So I'm glad he did bring it up. Those freaking phrases, those are wild. They got goofy with them. They're just like, okay, we're gonna give 3 goofy phrases so it'll be funny to bring up. I love just how they let it sit there. When he said it, he just brought it up in the challenge, and then just awkward silence. They're like, okay, Xander, a little weird. A little weird. And Jeff's like, and everybody else feeling okay? Which is basically his way of saying, like, if you got more phrases to say, now would be the time to do so. People coming out talking about, I feel like a goat on AstroTurf, or, never really thought about it, but broccoli is really just small trees. Now, I wonder if you mess up the phrase a little bit, would they get you on that technicality? Like, if you messed up the phrasing exactly, or it's the same idea, it's like, I wonder how specific it has to be. It's like, oh, you didn't activate it right. Sorry. Try again. And then you keep blowing it. You keep forgetting the phrase. I don't know.
All right. And are you kidding me? 3-way immunity idols? We're now requiring not just someone to go out into the jungle and find an immunity idol, but hope that when you utter nonsense in an immunity challenge, two other contestants on opposing tribes also utter nonsense to basically activate your immunity idol.
And then you all know about each other's immunity idols at that point.
I love it. It's awesome, and it continues to play into this theme of risk and reward. So I can't even imagine what Jeff Probst and the producers have in store for future episodes deeper into the season. But if this is just the tip of the iceberg, I'm all in. I love it. I just hope that in future episodes, people return the favor for my boy Xander.
Yeah, right? Look, so, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, people in activating all this, they're going to know about each other's idols, and you're not going to use your idols before the merge. So you're going to be like, that's going to be held over you for so long. So it's even more of a target to have an idol, because now you have two people who you're, potentially not working with at all in the future that can hold it against you, but then you can equally hold it against each other. So you might want to work together in a sense. It's just a weird complication to it all, where it's like these people just immediately know, okay, oh, he said the phrase, okay, he's got an idol now. He said a phrase. This is a lot, though. This is a lot. Now, it does require them all to find that advantage on their camp, so that might never happen. But that would be a lot if we did end up with 3 people with idols. Like, okay, that is actually a lot. But the fact that he doesn't get to vote until the phrases are uttered, that is something else.
2 moment has to be Deshaun and Evie making the trek up the summit. Evie showing all of their cards, not wanting to align with any one person, but seemingly wanting to be friends with everyone, sharing the secrets of their tribe.
Yeah, she did share the secrets.
This is a dangerous, dangerous place to be in Survivor, and you got to be careful, right? And maybe this will play into Evie's favor. We will see if Evie makes it to Final Tribal. I'd love to see the conversations that are had among the jury, that Evie never really seemed to align with any one person, but tried to be friends with everyone. It's a dangerous road to go down on the game of Survivor, but we'll see if it plays in Evie's favor. Right now, I don't think it will. All right, but we'll see. And then my final moment is not voting out Tiffany. Are you kidding me? That tribe is just depending on them having some type of merge or swap.
That's your final moment, them not voting out Tiffany?
I don't get it. I think Voce should have stayed. I love Voce, had a great story, and I hoped he would have played longer. But here we are. This is the game of Survivor. It's brutal. It's cutthroat. And Survivor 41 is definitely playing into all of that. All right? I've already gone over 3 minutes, but I wanted to just share my big
Now you
3.
have.
Hopefully, Zach, it provides a nice prompt for you. Can't wait to see your reaction. Can't wait to see your debrief and review of the episode after the fact. All right? Hopefully this finds you well, and we'll see you for episode 3.
Them not voting out Tiffany, I was frustrated in that I would much prefer to have Voce and Xander both there, just because they're more entertaining for me, and I think they have more long-term chance of doing well in the game. But Tiffany's on my draft. So, I mean, longevity for her is longevity for me. Rusty, I realize you didn't acknowledge this in your video, but you're hemorrhaging at this point. You're hemorrhaging draft people, and I hope it continues in that direction. Anyway, that's going to be it for episode 2 of Survivor 41. It was a fun time. At first, in the beginning, I was like, okay, this seems predictable and definitely not too exciting, not near the level of premiere, but it really shaped up into be something more interesting. And even though the outcome was kind of more or less what I was predicting, the way we got there was fun. And even though I didn't really like the risk reward thing with the wheel, because it's more of the same, there's elements of everything I liked. And they didn't spend too much time on any one thing. That's cool. They've been keeping the pace going. Even the reward challenge didn't take out anything because it was just a diving equipment, and fishing gear. So that's that's good stuff to have. As far as the reward, it's pretty old school in nature, and doesn't take up a segment of the show of them going away or eating or whatever. So yeah, that being said, after watching this video, I encourage you to go watch our reaction to episode 13 of Survivor Vanuatu, where I think that's the Julie Gets Burned episode. That's a fun one. Every now and then I'll go back and look, because it's fun to look back on some of the old Survivor episodes and see what we were talking about. And that was one I looked at recently. And so you can never go wrong. It was a fun one. In old school Survivors, it's so different. Feels so different now. But yeah, come back every week for Survivor 41, as well as Survivor Palau currently. I'm going through with Alec. And thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to our podcast feed. Like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this episode. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything that's up. There's always so much to go into. It's great. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and like us on Facebook. Tarqaron TWO. All right. That's it. Till next time.